Hi, everyone. Vinnie here. We got David over here. This direction. Oh, that direction.
Thank you. Welcome. I hope a lot of you have flood insurance or rain boots or umbrellas, because it's some interesting weather right now.
Yeah, it's a good time to be in escrow on a property, so you can at least see if the rain's going to affect basically the house. Because it's difficult. That's one of the things when you do the home inspection, they can look at it and see, all right, how the shingles all on it, but actually seeing the rain, how the house does in the rain, is kind of a nice touch.
That is. Well, I will tell you, Vinny, because I just got to come back from a rental property of mine, and luckily I got to find out the roof is leaking in the corner, and that's fantastic because it's going to be very expensive to fix.
All right, so if you look at the clip, if you're the first time here, look at the clicker below. You'll kind of see the actives and pending properties. One thing kind of interesting is since 2 weeks ago, right? So January 15th and we're February 1st, active properties have stuck around the 2,300, a little under 2,400 properties, but pending properties have jumped from about 1,500 to roughly about 1,900. With interest rates kind of trickling down, and we're going to talk about interest rates. That's kind of got that little frenzy to the market. You want to talk about interest rates?
Yeah, let's take a look. So some of you may have noticed, the Fed got together this week and they had popcorn, ice cream, a couple soda pops, and then they realized the popcorn, the ice cream, and the soda pops were still expensive. And they said, "Wait a minute, we're having popcorn, ice cream, and soda pops, yet things haven't really fully adjusted yet, and maybe inflation is not as tame as we thought. So maybe all those rate cuts we were telling you we're going to do, we may just hold off on those," was what the Fed was mentioning. And what makes you wonder is, will they actually hold true to that? Or will they cut them right before the election like everyone is planning? So
yeah, to give you ballpark ideas of it, VA, FHA, probably what's still high fives, or you think low sixes right now?
So let's take a look at it. So FHA, VA, everything, the market's been quite volatile the last 2 days, but I locked in a lot of people on FHA and VA at 5.75. And some of them were even lower than that. People that paid money could get lower than that. The APR, let's just say it's always a 0.25% higher than what you're locked in at. But shoot, a lot of people, everyone locked in at, 5.65, 5.75. That's a pretty big win on FHA and VA. And then on your conventional, this week, everything had dropped down. Like the loans I locked in, I locked them all in at 6%. So APR 6.25. So that is really unheard of because, Vinny, me and you were talking 2 months ago, we're in the sevens, and that's really high. And the other thing that's interesting is the jumbo market has not really moved all that much, unfortunately. Jumbo is still, you're in the mid sixes to sometimes the high sixes. And overall, that's still really amazing. Is that going to help the housing market or hurt it? Well, you just told us there's no inventory and rates are getting lower. Soon we'll be into spring, and before you know it, in 3 months, we're hitting summer. So, you may say this is the perfect storm right now in San Diego, what we have going on with this weather, but I think the perfect storm is coming more with rates getting lower, because I actually think rates are going to continue to kind of slowly drip down a little bit. But I'm still predicting end of summer, close before the election, rates are going to reach their lowest point.
Yeah, and that's kind of why you're getting more people out there. You're starting to get those quote unquote bidding wars. In that market, especially under $1 million, right? In most areas, under $1 million is probably where you're going to get it really hot and heavy, as you kind of see by the clicker right there. And then, of course, you're getting people that are just kind of the people that are on the fence and kind of thinking about it, right? You start getting that word about the dream program, right? We talked about it before.
Oh, man, it's a dream. I have a dream.
Likelihood you're probably not going to get accepted on it. It's a lottery program and like that. but it's getting. I mean, the process of just getting your paperwork together and getting approved is a painful one. So if you have that carrot of maybe the dream program with 20%, you might get those people to jump in the market and say, hey, you know what? I'll just take the dive. I'll see what another grant, maybe one of like the Chula Vista. I mean, Chula Vista has a grant, or National City. You check these other grants and go, maybe instead of doing the dream program, I'll do one of these other grant programs or down payment assistance programs, and I can still qualify at that time.
It's interesting you mentioned the dream program. So let's put that in perspective. Vinnie, the last time the dream program came into effect, there was $500 million in the dream program, and it sold out in 12 days. This time there's 250 million. So if your dream is to have that dream of getting in the dream program, we're not dream crushers. Go for it. You should 100% try to
take
get
the chance.
But just make sure you read the fine print. Take the chance. You are going to pay back some of the equity on that house when the house is sold, and you are paying back that grant money. It's not for free. So will it get you in a home? Yes. Is it going to be hard? Yes. If it's the only route you have, should you try it? Absolutely. But there's lots of other programs out there that you can still do. And me and Vinny talked about this before. If you can still get in with FHA loans with the 3.5% down, or there's other programs that have recently come out that now allow you to come in with conventional loans on condos with just 2% down. 2%. So if you were looking at a condo 800K or below, and you have a 640 FICO, you can get into a condo with 2% down, and 1% grant goes back to you. That's pretty amazing. So, it's going to be easier to probably fulfill your dream of getting that offer accepted than the dream program.
Yeah, I mean, no, it's possible, right? I mean, there's so many different options, especially, one of the things for VA, right? Hypothetically for VA, and I know we're just going off on a quick tangent right here, but it just kind of goes off the perspective that things are possible if you have a lender and a realtor, right? They can kind of think outside the box, but you have basically spot approval, right? So you see, okay, the complex is not VA approved, but then you have a lender that can go, hey, you know what? I can still approve this unit right here and get spot approval. Of course, the listing side has to be on it, but it opens you up to other opportunity, because usually when a complex is not VA approved or FHA approved, it's probably going to be a little bit lower of a price than ones are, because you have less of a buyer pool, right? So knowing what's possible is a huge thing. I know we try to keep it under 10 minutes. Before we get done with this, I'd like to play this little game.
Can I mention something, Vinny? That's super important that since you said VA, for those of you veterans out there who are buying in San Diego and you have 100% disability, contact me or Vinny. We can help you get a property and waive 100% of the property taxes.
Yeah, I know. I know that's a crazy thing when you talk to people. They're like, "Oh, I'm not 100%. I'm like 80%." You're like, "Oh gosh, you gotta."
If you're 100, we can help you get the property taxes waived. So if you buy a condo let's say you buy a house at $850, and now you don't have taxes each month of $875, that's a big chunk. So, freedom isn't free. We're trying to help people that have given all and given everything.
So here's this chance. We got the ticker going below for your chance to win $50. All right. So this was the question last time we were on here. It was 2 weeks ago. We try to do it once a week, but sometimes it ends up being every other week. But the question was, how much was the most expensive detached property to sell in San Diego so far this year? Mind you, it was middle of January when this question was asked. Do you remember what your number was?
I remember I got totally destroyed because I couldn't believe how expensive this house was. So I mean, 3-bedroom, 2-bath. I think I went with 3.5 million, and it was something like 10 or 11.
It was cash.
Oh my gosh!
In Del Mar for 18.5 million. It closed, officially closed. Okay. So the question this week
isn't that your house, Vinny? Isn't that was that your house? Is that your new house you got?
Right here. Okay. So how much was the least expensive detached property to sell in Pacific Beach so far this year? Okay, Pacific
3-bedroom, 1-bath.
Oh no, I didn't even think I got that wrong. I mean, I don't think it was
3-bedroom, 1-bath PB.
3-bedroom, 2-bath.
3-bedroom, 2-bath. I'm gonna say least expensive.
1,400 square or 1,500 square feet.
I'm gonna say $1 million. 1,000,003.
1,000,003. All right. So that's David's question. I mean, that's David's answer. What's yours? All you gotta do is text us for your chance to win. And one last parting word. I just want to say that